everyone, welcome again to online session of Mahula classes. My name is Dinesh Kumar. I'm former assistant professor of law at Campus Law Center, Law Faculty, Delhi University. And presently I'm working as an academic head of Mahula classes. So, कैसे हैं आप सब लोग? I hope that everything is fine with you and around you. Dear students, we have started two courses, that is 1 year course and 2 year course for the coming CLAT exam, and you can get yourself enrolled for these courses with us. For more information, you can dial the given number and get yourself enrolled or get the more information. We are also providing free trial for 15 days, and in this free trial, you will get live classes with one-to-one interaction, recorded conceptual lectures on various topics, topic tests, and sectional tests, and we will also provide it state of the art analytics on your performance. The procedure to get enrolled for the free trial is, first of all, find the link in the description given below, locate sign up for 15 days free trial, fill the form, and then you are set, or you will get yourself enrolled and you will get the benefit of free trial of 15 days. Dear students, today I am going to discuss with you one of the landmark judgment of Honorable Supreme Court in the case of Indian School, Jodhpur and others versus State of Rajasthan. This judgment was delivered by Honorable Supreme Court on 3rd May 2021. I will discuss with you following constitutional and legal provisions. Article 13 Clause 2 of Constitution of India provides that state shall not enact any law which takes away or abridges any of the fundamental rights of any person given under Part 3 of Constitution of India. And if state enact any such law, then such law will be null and void to the extent of its inconsistency with the fundamental right. Means आर्टिकल 13 क्लॉज 2 स्टेट के लिए ये डायरेक्शन देता है कि स्टेट कोई भी ऐसा कानून नहीं बनाएगा जो किसी भी प्रकार से पार्ट 3 में दिए गए फंडामेंटल राइट्स को वायलेट करे या कम करे। लेकिन अगर कोई स्टेट इस तरह का कानून बनाता है तो वह कानून जिस हद तक वो किसी फंडामेंटल राइट के अगेंस्ट है, नल एंड वॉइड डिक्लेयर होगा। Article 19, 1G of Constitution of India give right to every citizen to choose any occupation, any profession of their own choice. And Article 30 of Constitution of India gives right to all the minorities of India to establish and administer educational institutions of their choice. Article 162 of Constitution of India gives power to the state that state can give some executive directions with respect to the matters upon which state has authority to enact law. As far as the section 3, 4, 6 to 11, 15 and 16 of Rajasthan Schools Regulation of Fee Act 2016 and Rule 3, 4, 6, 8 and 11 of Rajasthan Schools Regulation of Fee Rules 2017 are concerned. These provisions provides for a school level committee to determine the fee of any private school in the state, and the private school raise the objections regarding such mechanism of determination of fee by the state. As far as the facts of this case are concerned, 8 appeals were filed before Honorable Supreme Court by the various private schools, and some of them were also minority schools. This appeal was filed against the decision of Honorable High Court of Rajasthan, and in this appeal, appellant challenged the constitutional validity of Section 3, 4, 6 to 11, 15, and 16 of Rajasthan Schools Regulation of Fee Act 2016 and its various rules. The ground of challenge was that these provisions takes these provisions take away the autonomy of the private schools to determine their own fee. Hence, these provisions violate the fundamental rights of citizens or the minorities as provided by the various provisions of Constitution of India. The main issue in this case was whether sections 4, 7 and 10 of Rajasthan School Regulation of Fee Act 2016 is against Article 19(1)(g), read with Article 13 clause 2 and Article 30 of Constitution of India. Means क्या section 4, 7 और 10 जो कि राजस्थान स्कूल्स रेगुलेशन ऑफ फी एक्ट के हैं, क्या किसी भी प्रकार से ये सेक्शंस एपिलेंट के फंडामेंटल राइट्स को, जो कि एपिलेंट को आर्टिकल 19(1)(g) में दिया गया है और आर्टिकल 30 में दिया गया है, वायलेट करते हैं. सो दिस वाज द मेन लीगल इशू बिफोर ऑनरेबल सुप्रीम कोर्ट. नाउ आई विल डिस्कस the contentions of appellant. Appellant raised the following contentions, and first contention of the appellant was that since Article 13 clause 2 of Constitution of India prohibits state from enacting any such law which takes away or abridges any of the fundamental rights of any citizen, including any person, and if state enacted any such law, then such law will be null and void as per Article 13 clause 2 of Constitution of India. In the given case, since the state legislature of Rajasthan has enacted this act which takes away the fundamental rights of a minority as well as the other private schools, so these provisions are liable to be struck down by Honorable Supreme Court. Next, Article 19(1)(g) also gives freedom to every citizen of India to choose any occupation, any profession of their own choice, and they can also administer that business or that occupation. But since the autonomy of a particular business has been taken away or has been affected by the provisions of this act, so these sections are also liable to be struck down by Honorable Supreme Court. The third contention was that Article 30 of Constitution of India gives right to minorities that they can establish and administer educational institution of their choice. Now, establishment and administration. The word administration also include to determine their own fee. But now the fee is determined by the school level fee committee and not by the private school itself. So it is the interference with their autonomy. So these provisions are liable to be struck down by Honorable Supreme Court. Now I'm going to discuss with you Section 4, 7 and 10 of Rajasthan Schools Regulation of Fee Act 2016. Basically, Section 4 provides for the establishment of school level fee committee. This committee consists of following members. Number one is the chairperson. Chairperson is the representative of management of private school, and he is nominated by the management of such private school. Second person is the secretary. Secretary is the principal of private school. Third, there are two kinds of member. Third member, or the one kind of member, includes three teachers who are nominated by the management of private school, and four kind of member, or the other kind of member, include five parent from the parent teacher association, which is formed in every school. Now, as per section 4, fee of every private school must be determined by the school level fee committee. If the either party means the management or the parent teacher association, are not satisfied with the decision of school level fee committee, then they can challenge the decision of school level fee committee before divisional fee regulating committee. This divisional fee regulating committee consists of various government officials, and if the concerned parties are still not satisfied with the decision of divisional fee regulation committee, then they can approach to revision committee. So revision committee is the final authority here to determine the fee of private school. This move by the state government and this act passed by the legislature of Rajasthan was considered as the violation of fundamental rights by the appellant. Another contention on the part of appellant was that the restrictions imposed by the state in this regard are arbitrary and unreasonable. Means there is no reasonable classification behind such restrictions upon the private schools. So these are arbitrary in nature and unreasonable. And being arbitrary in nature and unreasonable, these restrictions are also against Article 14 of the Constitution of India. Next contention was that such provisions also limit the autonomy of private school to decide their own fee. So it also affects their various fundamental rights. Next was contention was that there is imbalance in the constitution of school level fee committee, and how the imbalance was contended, because the parent teacher association have 5 members in the school level fee committee, and school management has only 3 teachers. So there are reasonable apprehensions that the decision may be in the favor of the parent teacher association or the parents of the students. It will also affect their autonomy or right to determine their own fee. Appellant also contended that the regulation of a school fee is already occupied by the law made by the parliament, that is the Right to Education 2009. It means if the parliament has already enacted a specific law, that is Right to Education 2009, so the state legislature cannot enact the law on the same subject. This was also contended by the appellant in the given case. Now we come to the contention of respondent. Respondent state in this particular case raised the following contentions, and the contention number 1 was that this act of 2016, which is the bone of contention in this particular case, is merely regulatory in nature, and it does not affect the autonomy of the state, autonomy of the private school to determine their own fee. So it was contended on the part of the state of Rajasthan that it does not affect the autonomy of any private school. Rather, it merely regulates the activities of private school, so that private school must not consider education as a business. Rather, they must consider education as a charitable activity. Second provisions or second contention was that since this act provides for divisional fee regulatory committee and it is a regulatory body, such body has also been allowed by Honorable Supreme Courts in the various cases. For example, Honorable Supreme Court itself in the case of P.A. Inamdar and others versus State of Maharashtra and others 2005 held that right to administer educational institution is not a absolute right. Rather, it is subject to reasonable restrictions. So, if the management of a private school is not functioning in a proper manner, then the management of such school can also be changed. And the word management does not include mismanagement. So the state has not taken any new step. Rather, state has taken a step which is consistent by the decisions of Honorable Supreme Court as well. Now we come to the third contention of the state of Rajasthan. The third contention was that private schools cannot consider education as a profitable business, and they can also not take any capitation fee from any student. This activity means prevent taking the profit from the school or charging any capitation fee can be controlled by the concerned state. It was contended by the state of Rajasthan that if these words means prevention of profiteering and charging of capitation fee are not expressly included in the Impugned Act of 2016, then it does not mean that such law or such act has become constitutionally suspect or such law has violated any of the fundamental rights of the appellant in the given case. Now, I come to the decision of Honorable Supreme Court. Honorable Supreme Court finally held that the sections 4, 7, and 10 of Impugned Act 2016 are constitutionally valid, and these sections do not violate any of the fundamental rights of appellant in this case. Means these sections are merely regulatory in nature, and these sections do not affect the right of appellant. But Honorable Supreme Court read down these provisions. So first of all, we understand the meaning of term read down. Read down here means giving a narrow interpretation to a particular provision of law. There is a difference between the term read down and struck down. Struck down means any particular section or any particular article of any law has been declared as unconstitutional or has been declared as null and void by Honorable Supreme Court. But read down means the provisions are valid, but they need to be given some narrow interpretations. So Honorable Supreme Court in this case gave narrow interpretations to section 4, 7, and 10 of this act and held that these sections will be applied subject to the conformity or subject to the directions of this particular decision in this case. Honorable Supreme Court also directed to the state that state cannot take the autonomy of private schools under its regulatory power. But simultaneously, Honorable Supreme Court also directed to the state as well as the private schools that there is need to make the balance between the autonomy of the private schools and the regulatory power of the concerned state. Honorable Supreme Court also directed to the private schools that they must behave they must behave in a sensitive manner in the present situations of pandemic, and they must not charge for the facilities what they are not providing to the student at present. So it was directed to the concerned private schools that in the present situation they must also behave in a sensible manner, and they must consider the situation of various parents of the schools. Now, dear students, that's all for today. Please take care yourself in this pandemic situation and remain safe. Observe appropriate COVID behavior, and please like and subscribe to our channel. If you have any doubt regarding this particular case, you may mention in the comment box. We will solve it. And I will again come with the latest path-breaking judgment of Honorable Supreme Court very soon. Till then, goodbye. Thank you very much.